Yo, what's up, guys? Today's August 3rd. This is the one trade that I ended up taking today. We started off the week with the banger, so let's get straight into it. Looking on the higher time frame, we're obviously trending bullish towards this daily internal high. 4-hour same exact idea. We have super high resistant high, super high resistant low, super high resistant low here as well, and a bunch of low resistance draws above here. On the 1-hour chart, what am I looking at? I'm looking that we have this new week opening gap. So if we were to disrespect this, I would expect these lows here. But if we were to respect it, I would expect this low resistance draws here and the buy side liquidity up here. And going into open on the 15-minute chart, we still have the new week opening gap fill here. So if we do resweep at 9:30, I could see a potential log, and if 9:30 opens higher, I could also see a potential short or a continuation short down to these DOLs. But currently we have a bunch of low resistance this way, and this gap is attacking all this low resistance, so I'm expecting it to play out, and it's attacking high resistance, so it seems like a very good gap to use. And now going into open 9:30, so 9:30 did originally open lower, sweeping out this new week opening gap, but there was no valid inversion here, because even if you wanted to take this 1 minute here, we just ended up interacting with the higher time frame, so the inversion just isn't valid. But what do we do end up from here? We do end up hitting this 15-minute gap, but what is it attacking versus defending? It's attacking a high resistant low and defending a bunch of low resistance draws below. So I'm not expecting this to play out, and at this point I was considering a short, but now looking back, seeing how much liquidity this is defending, like I wouldn't have taken it. I wasn't really paying attention to all this low time frame or this higher time frame liquidity above, because it is a very weak gap. Then what I'm looking at on the 5-minute time frame, I'm looking for a 5-minute continuation here, but we do not get presented with that. What do we get instead? We get a 3/4 minute continuation gap here. So why am I taking a 3 or 4 minute continuation even though it's not a 5-minute? It's just using discretion and attacking versus defending with confirmations of respecting versus disrespecting. So going into my setup, we do have a stop hunt into this 4-minute gap, and we do end up getting this displacing 1 minute inversion here. So why am I using this 4-minute gap even though we hit this 15-minute? Is because this 4-minute gap is beating this 15-minute. If the 15-minute was strong enough, we would have displaced through this and headed back to this low. But what are we doing? We're having a bullish reaction showing the 4-minute is beating the 15-minute gap. What do we also do? Have signs of bullish confirmations, which is the 50% mark. What do we also do? We tap into 9:30 range here, getting really good displacement out of this 4-minute continuation, targeting all this low resistance here. Then at this point, what am I looking at? I see that we do get this very displacing candle here. I enter, and ES ends up hitting the 2-hour, but actually making equal high. So I went break even, got instantly break even rated, and then I realized that we made equal high. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna re-enter. Then I got a really bad fill here. We had a little bit of drawdown, but it did end up playing out. But let's just move this. This did end up playing out, but one thing I have to say is this point at 9:48, ES hit the 2-hour internal high, which I made a mistake on, and I did end up going break even. So I did not actually win this trade, which is super unfortunate because this is a super good trade. Definitely like an A/A setup, A plus setup, which I unfortunately got break even on. In the moment, it felt like a really valid break even, but looking back at it, I just need to stop doing those dumb break evens. Like, it was mechanically a good break even, but looking back at it, it was just not the best DOL to go break even at. Seeing that ES also had a 4-hour above it, it would have been just way easier to go break even at that point, and then I would have hit TP either way. But yeah, this was a very good trade. Definitely another setup that I would take. Just messed up on my part with the break even, but going into the execution, you can see my executions here. We lost about $13. That's the break even amount. Entering at 9:45 and closing at 9:48. You can see we got break even on this candle. We just pumped up and then stopped me out straight away at break even. But overall, this was a good trade. I would definitely take it again, and hopefully this month is gonna be good. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and have a good day.